YouTube, what is up? Welcome to day 5 of the summer bulk, and it is rest day. So we're actually not in the car today, we're in the kitchen. We're gonna mix it up, and I think I mentioned it last video if you watched, but I'm gonna be running you guys through a full day of eating. Now, remember, this is the start of the lean bulk. I kind of ran you guys through that. Obviously at this phase, for me personally, my food isn't crazy high, and also because it's a rest day, like my food is a little bit lower, but currently my macros for today is gonna be 300 protein, 300 carbs, and 50 fats. So pretty much want to just show you guys what my typical day of eating is. Keep in mind it is a rest day though, but I will let you guys know what I usually have for my pre-workout meals. Now, when you guys are, designing your eating, pretty much just incorporate foods that you like. Like I use flexible dieting if it fits in macros. So I just track everything on MyFitnessPal. And yeah, usually I keep it like very, very similar. I just change up flavors, sauces and whatnot to keep it exciting. But it is a little bit later than usual. Like it's already 20 past 11. Usually I would have smashed down probably my first 2 meals by now. But yeah, it's been a bit of a hectic morning. Had to do client updates for programs. I also had to edit yesterday's video. I was supposed to do it last night, but pretty much had a fair bit of programming and stuff to catch up on. It's just a big bowl of oats. So this is like a staple that I'll generally have, in prep, even on my off season. And like I said before, I just change up the flavors. Like for today, I've got like dark chocolate and blueberries, and I'm using for the protein, it's like the My Protein The Way, which is salted caramel. So just any WPI. If you guys aren't, adding your whey to your oats, you are missing out. Like I feel like it just adds so much flavor and it turns into like more of a dessert. But yeah, the breakdown for this meal is 837 calories. So I've got like 100 grams of oats. I've got 2 scoops of WPI, 17 grams of, it's like this, pretty much like, I think it's like the purest dark chocolate you can get that actually has, I guess, a little bit of flavor in it, which is like the Lindt 95% cacao. So that's got like the best macros in it. It's pretty much just fats. And then I've got 200 grams of blueberries as well, just to pump up the volume. Got good antioxidants in there as well. And then I generally just like have about 3 to 4 of these a day, which is just like obviously a bottle of water, but I add in the Cotty sugar-free cordial, don't really track it. And yeah, I think there's like the fruit cup flavor. So just like smash these down. It's a good way to get your water in, which is actually gonna help you guys with your pumps too and like stop you from cramping. And then for the seasonings, like in prep, I kind of like track my seasonings in off season. So like the bulk, I don't really, but I use like just smash some cinnamon, so ground cinnamon, and then just iodized table salt on top. And yeah, just remember salt for electrolytes is gonna help you with your pumps and your workouts. So with this, it is quite high fiber, which is why I have it at the start of the day. But yeah, we're gonna smash this down now, and we will probably get into a bit more work, and then I'll show you guys my next meal. So I was going to chat to you guys as well in regards to like your bulk and your surplus. Like it does vary person to person. Like I said, for me, my food isn't too high at the moment, just because I've already been bulking for like 6 months. Now, for you, if you're starting your bulk and you're obviously in a much leaner position to start off your bulk, keep in mind you're going to be able to like ramp your food up quite high. I think at the end of the last video, which I'm not too sure if that many people made it through to the end of the last video, but like my food was over 4,000, nearly 5. I think we ended up with like 5,000 calories like before I start prep. We've only got 12 weeks. So as long as I'm in a surplus, you're gonna grow. Now, for example, if you are kind of like a hard gainer and you're struggling to find, to gain weight, I'd probably recommend you guys, push your food up much higher than what mine is right now. It's just, it's all relative to like where you're at. But pretty much make sure that you guys are tracking your calories. And remember, if you don't want to worry about your fats and your carbs, the main focus is just going to be A, your calories, so total calories throughout the day, and then B, your protein target. And track your body weight. Like I weigh myself pretty much every morning. So that's going to help you, keep track of trend lines. Like you want to make sure, across the week that your weight is getting heavier and going up. keep in mind your weight is going to fluctuate day to day. Like it's going to go up, it's going to go down, depending on like how late you eat your meals, how much water you have that day and whatnot. But the main thing is like a trend and making sure that you're gaining weight, which is going to help you put on mass and size, which is the goal. So yeah, just make sure you're staying on top of your tracking. And most things these days as well have like barcodes, which is one of the main reasons why I use my fitness pal. You literally just like read the back, scan the barcode, make sure it lines up. And then if you do have scales, I would definitely recommend that you use them. Just weigh your food. It's literally sounds pretty monotonous and like annoying at the start, but you just get used to it. And then after a while, like you'll get to a stage where you kind of can eyeball weight. Like for me, if I don't have my scales and I'm being more flexible, I can kind of look at food and be, okay, that's roughly X amount. And then you just track it. Or if you're eating out, you kind of have a bit more of an idea about, you know, portion sizes and whatnot. So yeah, I'm going to smash down the rest of this, get into a little bit more programming and work. I'll probably start uploading yesterday's video on YouTube. And then yeah, I'll see you guys for the next meal, which is probably going to be like cream of rice and English muffins, which is usually what I have as a pre-workout meal. Obviously today, I'm just going to have it and probably do a little bit of cardio. I think we're heading into the gym today just to get in like 30 minutes on the Stairmaster as like an active rest day. And then generally I'll try to keep my steps up over 10,000 at least when I'm not training. So back in the kitchen for meal number 2. Now this is usually my pre-workout meal. Keep in mind, it is much later than expected. I literally just got caught up on client calls for check-ins for my clients, heaps of client updates as well. So kind of running behind, 4 p.m. Usually I have this like as a pre-workout meal, like I said. And usually I only put like 1 scoop of the whey isolate in with my cream of rice, but I've just done my extra one, which I usually have post-workout in the meal just because I still have 2 more meals to get in. But essentially this breakdown for this meal, that's the muffins that are ready, is 73 protein, 166 carbs, and 16 grams of fat. So as you can see, super high carbs, fats are quite low, and a bit of protein as well. And that's around 1,150 calories. So I'm actually gonna show you guys how I prepare this meal. I've actually already kind of like prepared the cream of rice for the core. I like turning into like a bit of a cake batter type thing. Now this one's easy to fuck up. So with your cream of rice, just get rice flour from like Coles or Woolworths. Pretty much the ratio that I use is like 1 part cream of rice to 4 parts water. Now I usually mix that up, stir it, microwave it for like 1:30 minutes. That's gonna like get some clumps, and then you just wanna stir it, make sure that you get all the clumps out, and then pretty much repeat every 30 seconds. Usually it takes me around another 4 or 5 times to get the consistency I want. Then I smash in the whey protein, mix it in, and then usually some people eat it like that. Me personally, I actually throw it back in the microwave for another minute or minute and a half. And as you can see, it kind of like turns it into like a cake. Don't really want to flip it upside down, but okay, yeah, it's not gonna fall out. So that's like the consistency. It's quite thick. So what we're gonna do is add in like our toppings. So pretty much already got the whey protein in. Straight away, we're gonna add in same thing again. I'm sticking with the same flavors just so grocery shopping is easier, which is like 17 grams. And then I usually just like break this up in a bits until I get to 17 grams. But yeah, this stuff like definitely gives it a lot of flavor. I've given peanut butter a bit of a break, but I'd definitely probably add that in the next week or so. So that is 17 now, perfect. So the chocolate like melts into the cream of rice, which makes it like awesome. From there, literally get my cinnamon, give it some taps, pretty much cover it in like a blanket of cinnamon because I love cinnamon. I think it's pretty low calories. I usually track this if I'm in prep, like I said before, and then just your standard iodized table salt. Same thing again, not tracking it, but I am salting all my meals. From there, pretty much done with that. And then all that we have left to do is the blues. So with the blueberries, I add on 100 grams to this meal, just on top. And I do the frozen just because they're like freaking way cheaper than my fresh ones. And like the best thing is they'll actually melt. So by the time I have my English muffins prepared, these will actually melt on top, and then pretty much we'll be good to go. So pop them away, spread out these blueberries, and that's pretty much what they look like. So this is like a bowl of goodness of freaking dense carbs, and then pretty much English muffins. I've just got 2. I like the wholemeal ones just because you can kind of have a little bit more, and then pretty much just throwing on jam. So for the jam, pretty much just straight carbs. Now people will like say, oh, sugar in it, whatnot, but the thing is, as long as you're kind of, well, my train of thought is like, as long as you're having it around your workout, your body's gonna be burning through that shit. If I'm like someone who doesn't work out and I'm eating like heaps of sugar and I'm not really working out, like that's probably when I'd be concerned about, you know, like things like diabetes and shit, but I'm pretty sure my body can utilize the jam. But yeah, I usually just get like strawberry jam, or sometimes I get like the raspberry to mix it up, but I keep it pretty basic. So I'm gonna smash on 3 more grams of this. Pretty pedantic. Some people will just like round it up. I literally have to do it to the gram. I don't know about you guys. And then from that, the only thing extra that I add is salt. I just put a dash of salt on these. And obviously as a pre-workout meal, you're gonna get a sick pump. So I'm gonna smash this down now. I am starving. This is literally my second meal. But yeah, that's pretty much how I put it together. And this is my 2nd liter water with a bit of 0 sugar cordial. Now, I've actually ran out, so I'm gonna have to have 2 plain ones. And then usually during my workout, I'll have like this, but I'll fill it up with like EAAs or in my shaker, just to make sure I'm staying hydrated. Hooked into these. Now, usually I inhale these English muffins first, just because they taste like so good. I feel like lots of people avoid bread, but as long as you're mixing your food sources up, digestion's on point, and you know, you're not like getting over it, keep it in. Now, one thing I was going to talk to you guys about is actually, you know, for people who, I guess they say they can't gain weight, generally that's like an easy fix. It's just you're not eating enough, bro. So make sure you're tracking your food and that you're consistently eating as well. Like there's no point tracking your food for a couple of days of the week and being like, I'm eating 3,000, 4,000 calories. And then you'll get to the end of the week and have a few days where you're busy with study or with work, and then you don't eat the whole day. Your body's gonna be in a deficit across the week. So make sure every single day you're hitting your fucking meals, and that's the only way you're gonna grow. If you're tracking your food, you honestly can't go wrong. Obviously, you don't have to keep it as clean as what I'm eating today. I was honestly thinking maybe next time I record one of these vids, like keep it a little bit more flexible so you guys know how to track and what to do when you're on the go. But yeah, like as long as you guys are getting your meals in, don't get too caught up on like being like, oh man, I gotta exactly spread my protein across X amount of meals. Like there's no right or wrong. I've got some clients who I work with who literally have like 1 or 2 meals a day. They do intermittent fasting because of their job or because of their lifestyle. Like you don't necessarily have to be a hardcore bodybuilder and have like 6 or 10 meals a day. Like me personally, at the moment, I have like 4 and a shake, so it's almost like 5. But sometimes later in prep, I'll only have like 3 meals, literally intermittent fast the whole morning and have 3 bigger meals because I'm on less calories. Obviously, if you're bulking and your food's super high, you're probably gonna have to fucking snack a lot to fit your calories and your carbs in. So it's all, you know, dependent, but if you can try to like evenly distribute your protein across your meals and try to like, you know, break your meals up, I guess, as much as you can, just because that's gonna help with like digestion and you know your body actually absorbing the protein. The time is 6:30 and just about to have my next meal. This is definitely one of my lighter meals compared to, you know, the meals that I've had, so meal 1 and 2, where they're quite carb heavy. This is probably just a little bit more protein, high volume food. So this is generally either like a post-workout meal after. I usually have my shake. Like I said to you guys, I didn't actually have the shake today. I just had like the extra scoop in with my cream of rice. But essentially what I've got here, give you guys a look so you can see. Try not to let this slide off the plate, but well, yeah, it looks pretty good. So this is the one that I was actually talking about the last couple of videos, which is like my chicken, potato, veg. But yeah, essentially what I've got here is 340 grams of chicken breast. I season that with paprika and also with garlic powder. I track it during like prep, but off season, I just go ham. And then with the potato, I've got 250 grams. I don't use normal potato, I actually use like the Spud Light potato, which I definitely recommend if you guys are in a deficit. Like I said to you earlier, because my food's quite low, I'm just incorporating these for the meantime. But essentially with these, I microwave them first for 6 minutes, just to make sure that they get cooked. And then I whack them in the air fryer for 15 minutes. And then I just season with like sea salt and also like rosemary. But yeah, you guys probably can't see this chip, but it's like a grilled chip. I try to like remake the grilled chip, which I'm pretty sure they just use like Italian herbs and salt. Tastes like pretty good. And then I've got the sweet chili, so the light sweet chili AM sauce. They stock this at Coles and Woolworths, but essentially I don't really track this. It's got virtually no carbs or calories, very, very low, but you just have to watch out for these sauces. Generally the sodium is really, really high. So I don't actually add any extra salt other than the chips on this meal. So the macros for this come out to be 80 protein, 22 carbs and 6 fats. So it's essentially just a protein and super low carb and fat meal. And I've got like 100 grams of capsicum on the top as well. And that's 480 calories. So I've pretty much got this and another meal. This is number 3 of my drink, which is like the cordial. This is like a really weak one because we like literally ran out, but the next one's gonna be water. And then I also have like a Pepsi Max. I try to limit these to at least 1 to 2 a day. You guys don't be afraid of the sweetener or the aspartame. Just make sure that you guys aren't getting too carried away. Like I try to set myself a limit of 1 to 2. Generally I have that with like this meal and then my last meal later in the day after I've got my fluids in. But yeah, this goes down nice and easy. I'll just do a little taste test of the chips just to make sure they're good. They taste pretty good. They are a bit cold though because I had to set the camera up and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna smash this. And then after this, we've literally just got one more meal to get down. So I guess the amount of food I'm eating isn't crazy, but hopefully you guys can like incorporate these foods. The crows are going crazy outside, but hopefully it's not picking it up too much with the mics. But yeah, essentially I'm gonna smash this down now. We actually haven't done our cardio at the gym yet, so we'll probably head in after this meal and then we'll come back, finish the day off with the last meal, and then yeah, we're gonna call it a day. Just got back from the gym. We just smashed out 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. So even though I am bulking, and same thing with you guys, I still recommend that you guys keep in your cardio on the off season. Essentially, it means that you're gonna be able to stay leaner, and also because you're burning more calories, you can actually eat more food. So it's kind of like a win-win. And as well as that, rather than like not doing any cardio, then getting to your cut, you can be super unfit. So it just allows you to maintain that level of fitness, which when you start your workouts as well, it can help you with your recovery and whatnot as well. So you're not as short of breath. And like definitely when you start putting weight on, you won't be, puffing and huffing and puffing, because you're so unfit, like walking up a hill or literally like the stairs or just doing like basic shit. So in terms of meals, this is my final meal of the day. This is usually a little bit later than I'd like, but it's 9:15 now. Now for this meal, it's essentially the same thing. I'll give you guys a look. Essentially the same thing. I don't think it's gonna fall out this time, that I had for my previous meal. So I've got my Spud Light potatoes, chicken breast, capsicum, but I've just changed the sauce and the topping. So I've got some iceberg lettuce, so 50 grams, and I've also got like this low fat tzatziki as well, which I have like 40 grams on that, just to change up the flavor on the palate. So it goes down a treat. And then I actually just brought back some of my EAA. So this is my final bottle of water. So it's got like my creatine in there for the day as well. So for the calories for this meal, it's 512 calories. Breakdown for this is 82 protein, 26 carbs, and 7 fats. So again, a very light meal. I'm gonna freaking inhale this. It's literally just protein, low carbs, very low fats, and yeah, easy to digest. So this should go down a treat. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Hope you guys can take a bit away from the vid and you guys can start incorporating some of these meals. Keep in mind, I do change it up a fair bit as well. This is pretty much what I've been running with the last week or so. As long as you're hitting your calories, hitting your macros, and you guys are in a surplus, you guys are going to be able to gain muscle. And obviously the cleaner the better. If you can, try to have that, I guess, balance where you go like 80% whole foods, 20% flexible foods. At the moment, because my food's a little bit lower, and because of like my position, I'm only like got 12 weeks, and then I started comp prep. I don't want to get things too out of hand, but obviously my food's going to increase. And another thing I was going to say to you guys as well, if you're tracking your body weight and your weight hasn't changed or it's going backwards, after a week or 2 weeks on the same calories, be proactive and actually change your calories. Obviously, you're going to be burning a lot of energy. Your metabolism might be increasing as well, like if you're training more or doing more cardio. So just make sure that you're actually seeing the scales go up. And I probably recommend, if you don't weigh yourself daily, at least every second day, write it down in your notes or like in a spreadsheet or in a book, and just make sure that your weight's going up, because obviously mass moves mass. The heavier you get as well, the more size you're gonna put on, but also the stronger you're gonna get in the gym and in your lifts, which is probably one of the most fun things about bulking, is the fact of you getting super strong compared to when you're cutting. Main things like you can get stronger in initial phases, but by the end you're gonna be depleted. You're just gonna try to hold on to that strength as much as you can. So definitely make the most of, the extra weight, push some heavy loads, hit some PRs. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this up and then I'm gonna get some good rest. Pretty wrecked, it's been a long ass day. And then tomorrow I've got pool day, so we got like heavy T-bar rows and whatnot as well. But yeah, probably on my rest days moving forward, I'm definitely looking at doing either like Q&As or gonna be doing like full day of eatings, and obviously like mixing my food up. I don't really like eating the same thing, all the time. Like I'll have similar foods, but like I said, I'll change up toppings or I might change up my carb sources or whatnot. But generally it's like the same principle, where, you've got protein, carbs, fats each meal, pre-training, high carbs, low fats, and then around that, just getting your protein in throughout the day. So I'll leave you guys to it, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.